Happy Friday, Rebels. Today is Friday, May 8th, 2020, and I hope you guys are all having a great week. I want to start out by wishing all the moms out there a very happy Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. It's going to be a very special Mother's Day here for us. It's going to be my wife's first official Mother's Day, so Micah and I have been working hard this week creating crafts for Mom, and I hope you guys all have something special planned for your moms this year. I want to begin by saying that I hope you guys all heard the message from Mrs. Wilson that there will be a time later this month for you guys to come in and pick up the belongings that you guys have left in your lockers. If you did not get that message, please contact the school and get the details. I'm pretty sure that the dates are going to be the week of May 26th through the 29th. I'm sure that there are specific times for you guys to come on in and procedures that you'll have to follow. But please contact the office with any questions you have about that. But I just wanted to reiterate that there will be a time for you guys to come pick up your stuff. I also wanted to say that since schools have closed, I've made arrangements that for all of those students who received a certificate from Hogwarts, I will be mailing those out to you guys. I'm just waiting to get the envelopes, and once I have those, I'll be able to address them and get those to the post office and get those mailed out to you guys as soon as possible. So look for those in the next week or so. As soon as I have the envelopes, you guys will have your certificates. I was really disappointed I couldn't hand those out to you guys in person, but I'll be excited to get those to you guys. Like I said, as soon as I have the envelopes, I will get them mailed out to you guys personally. Well, today is finally the day where you should be done with your first drafts, and it's a day where you guys should begin editing and revising your research essays. So let's take a look at the blog. Okay, so here we are at today's blog, and you can see that today would be day 145 of school, and you can see today's topic is editing and revising. Now, I want to go ahead and I want to look here at the research project timeline to begin here. And if you look at the timeline, let me zoom in just a little bit, you will see that we've already been through so many stages. We've done the research and we've found our articles. Then you guys hopefully have read all of your articles and you gathered up all of the information that you needed. Once you've done that, we outlined our articles and we outlined all of the information in the outlines. Most recently, you guys have done the drafting. We had 4 days all set up for drafting. And now, here we are. We're finally at editing and revising. And you can see we have 2 days specifically set up for editing and revising. Then we have a day for the reference page. And unfortunately, since we're not in school and I don't have access to some of the materials I need to show you guys that reference page, I'm not sure we're going to be going through and doing a reference page this year. But we do want to do our final publication by May 15th. So that would be next week. We would want to finish up your final publications. Then the entire rest of the month of May and the beginning part of June is all about the research project. And this is the part that really saddens me that we're going to be eliminating. There's just no way for us to do the research projects from home, and since there's not going to be any learning fair, there's really no need for us to work on this portion. So unfortunately, we're going to end this year the learning fair projects, and we're going to leave out the project and we're just going to focus on the paper. But I do have some other ideas for you guys for things that we're going to do, some fun diary and journaling activities and some how-to videos that you guys will be able to do after we're done with the paper. So let's scroll down and let's take a look here. All right. So we've already been through the typing a research essay. And so now it's really onto the editing and revising. So I'm going to scroll through this first part here. And I'm going to go right to the second activity, which is the editing and revising. Now, you guys can see that when we're working on this paper, we're working on many standards. You can see right here, there are 4 different standards alone that we're working on as we've worked through these papers. All right. And here is your task. Use the editing and revising checklist along with your research essay outline to work with a writing partner. Now, we're not going to be able to work with a writing partner. You're going to have to do this on your own. But this whole goal is to be improving your writing. Okay, so today's focus, and I would break up the editing and revising just how we saw on the timeline into 2 sessions. I would not try to edit and revise this whole thing in one sitting. Really, I would take a couple of sittings to go through and edit and revise this whole paper. Remember what I've taught you guys earlier in the year. Editing and revising is actually a process that's just as long as drafting. So if we spent 4 days drafting, we really should be spending a good 4 days editing and revising and trying to improve our paper. Editing and revising is really a long process. All right, so here we go. I'm going to scroll all the way back down. All right, so today, the first day, I would focus on the first 3 paragraphs. I'd focus on the intro, the problem, and then either the causes or the pros. All right, and very first checklist I would use would be this writing a research essay. This checklist that we began with is your best tool for editing and revising. When you look at my copy, I have added the pink text, which tells you exactly how many sentences I think that you need to really do a good job on this this essay. So when you look at your intro, you can see how many parts it needs. So when I would go to edit and revise, I would read that first paragraph and I would look to see, do I have a hook? I only need 1 sentence for a hook. Now, you could use more. You might have a question. You might have a bold statement or a shocking fact. But do I have my hook? And then I would go right to the second criteria. Do I have my background information? Have I introduced myself and discussed why I care about this issue? Have I explained a little bit about what it is? And you can see here, minimum 4 to 5 sentences. That is a minimum. And then the last thing you need in this paragraph is your thesis statement. And again, your thesis statement should only be 1 sentence. What do you think or believe? And so what do you think we should do about it? This is your 1 sentence where you clearly state the what, which is what you believe, and the so what. And really what you're doing here is you're stating that whatever your topic it is in fact a global issue, and we need to work together to find solutions. Your second paragraph, you can see here it has 4 parts to it. You have an introductory sentence, and since this paragraph is all about the problem, your intro sentence should include the word problem. And then you need 3 to 5 sentences where you clearly describe the problem. And again, these are minimum. You may need more than 5 sentences to do this. The third thing you need to do is to support your description with facts and evidence. And look at here, underlined, you need to make sure that you are including your sources. Another 3 to 5 sentences. And every paragraph should have minimum of 2 sources, preferably more. The more sources you have, the better you are going to be. And then the last thing you need is 1 to 2 sentences where you are connecting your facts with your description of the problem. How does your evidence support your description of this problem? As you read through your essay, you're going to want to use these checklists and make sure you've included every single part. And you're also going to want to make sure that you are strengthening each part. Anything that you have left out, make sure that you add it. Anything that you feel could be strengthened, please strengthen it. During your first draft, nothing is usually as good as it could be if you go back and edit it and revise it. And you're going to want to go ahead and then go right on to the third paragraph, which is your causes or your pros. And again, you'll see it has 4 parts: an intro sentence, a description of what causes the problem, supporting your description with the facts and evidence where you need to include your sources, and again, where you connect your evidence to the causes. And again, you can see the minimum number of sentences required over here. So today I would focus just on the first 3 paragraphs, and then I would come back to this probably next week on Monday, and I would focus on the next 3 paragraphs, using this checklist as your primary source to do all of your editing and revising. The second thing that I would do after I'm done using that checklist to edit and revise my entire paper, this was actually set up for you guys to edit and revise with a partner, with a peer, but you're going to probably not be able to do that with a peer, but you could do it with mom or dad. In fact, mom or dad or a brother or a sister, they could help you out with this first checklist, but you could also have them ask you guys these questions and have them help you with this peer editing and revising checklist. And you guys have seen this editing and revising checklist before. As you know, it's really more general, but it does ask you guys some good questions about your essay. Are the title main words capitalized? Does the title fit the piece? You want to make sure you give your research paper a good title. Remember, there's a difference between a topic and a title. Are paragraphs used to organize information? So make sure that you've gone and you have your 6 paragraphs. Make sure that you have indentations. And then you can go right through. I'm not going to read all these questions to you guys. You guys have this on the blog. You can go through and ask yourself these questions. And again, you should be able to check yes to all of these. And don't be so quick to check yes. All right, I want you to be critical. Remember, we want to analyze our writing and be critical so that we can really make our writing the best that it can be. And what I would do as well, ladies and gentlemen, is I wouldn't just go through this once. I would go through this once and then put it aside. All right. And I would come back to my essay again the next day or a day later, and I would go through these things again. Don't just go through it once and call it done. In fact, the more you go through it and the more you use this editing and revising checklist, the more you use this writing a research essay checklist, the stronger your paper is ultimately going to be. So with all that said now, it is time for you guys to get editing and revising. And good news is I have seen on KidBlog, more people have been on KidBlog and been posting some things about their research. So that's really exciting to see that you guys are on there and you're working on the research paper. Like I said earlier in the video, next week I will be back. I do have some new ideas planned since we're not going to do the Learning Fair projects themselves. We're not going to be building models and doing the trifold boards. I have some other ideas in mind about diary and journal entries about the pandemic and what your life is like now at home. And I'm going to be making my own how-to demonstration video as a model to you guys. And I'm going to be asking you guys to be making your own how-to videos that you guys can post up onto KidBlog, and we're just going to have some fun activities that we can be doing here in the end of May and in the beginning of June. So until next week, guys, have a safe and happy weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and I will see you guys all next week. Until then, guys, bye.